One of the big challenges, referred to already this morning, is Mr. Donald Trump. It's reported that you want to repair our relations with Washington, D.C. What exactly are you going to do to suck up to Donald Trump?
The first thing you do is you don't suck up. And I don't think, my impression is President Trump, his administration, that's not what they're looking for, actually. He's a straight talker. He says what he means and means what he says. And I think we've got a Prime Minister...
You trust him?
We've got a Prime Minister... Well, I mean, I don't know him. But I do trust the United States, and I do... I mean, one of the things I'd say, and we're in first impressions territory, I've not even been in the job a week. I've always been aware that the alliance between the US and the UK is unlike any in the world. And of course, that's historic, it's cultural, it's political, it's driven by self-interest as well as mutual shared interests. But just in my first week as Defence Secretary, I have had a unique insight into just how close and integral that relationship is when it comes to defence and security. And it's one of the reasons why I was very keen and pleased in the first week to meet with my US counterpart, Pete Hegseth, where I was clear that we've not supported offensive action in Iran and we won't support offensive action in Iran. But there are plenty of things that we can and should do together when it comes to securing the Strait of Hormuz, in making sure that Iran doesn't develop nuclear weapons, in terms of investing in our capability and NATO's capability. And look, one of the things I'd say about President Trump specifically, we don't always like what he says, we don't always like his methods, but I genuinely think when this period of history is written, Europe will thank President Trump for shaking us out of our complacency and forcing us to stand on our own 2 feet and end the period of over-reliance on the United States for defence. Because what he said about Europe isn't unique to President Trump, the MAGA movement or the Republican Party. This has been a long-standing grain of US frustration with Europe under Democratic and Republican presidents. And in the world we live in, it is right that we can act to secure ourselves, we can act with our allies here in Europe, and of course work with the United States without being overly dependent to the extent that NATO in Europe has been.